Welcome to the Stop Listening Now podcast. This is Bobby talking. What? I gotta come up with new ways to introduce myself every week, you know?
At least you're introducing yourself this time.
Hey, that was my way I did it last time. I just didn't do it.
At least you're not trying to say what episode number it is.
It's episode like 12 or something.
Dude, not even close.
I have no idea.
I don't know. I'll bleep that out. This episode of the podcast, we are talking about video games.
Well, video game. Singular.
Yeah, specifically one. As mentioned on on a previous episode, we originally were going to be doing a deep dive of the first season of Goop Labs on Netflix.
But fuck that.
Originally as a joke, but I couldn't make it past the first 10 minutes of the first episode. Once Gwyneth Paltrow opened her fucking dumb witch mouth and she started talking about psychedelics, I wanted to punch my own wiener. So I just turned it off and I stopped watching.
Yeah, we can only hate watch so much, you know?
Yeah, like I'm down for hate watching something if it's like so bad that it's enjoyable.
Yeah, like this is just infuriating though. Like it's
horrible.
It's not even like entertaining to watch as like a bad thing. Cause like even though like, you know, I kind of hate watched, you know, The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker when we did those podcasts.
Yeah.
I at least enjoyed it because like I knew I was gonna rip on it and it's funny because it's so bad. It's just like Goop Lab, it just makes me mad. That's all it does.
Did you end up like trying to watch any of it?
No, I rewatched the trailer because I was like at work. I was taking a crap at work, and it just popped up in my recommendations. I was like, "Oh right, we're doing that podcast." So I just watched the trailer again, and I'm like, "Fuck, I don't want to do that." And then you messaged me about how you couldn't even get past the first 10 minutes. I'm like, "Yeah, let's just not do this one."
Yeah. So we have a last minute tag in for a podcast. There is a video game that both you and I have been playing an unhealthy amount of.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of appropriate that we had a plan to do something, but then actually instead of doing that, we're just gonna do about Tarkov instead, because that's kind of been our lives lately. Where I was gonna do something, but then I just did Tarkov instead.
Yeah.
So it's fitting, thematic.
So we'll get into more details about Tarkov. You know, in a little bit about like what the game is and stuff like that. But it's so funny because I remember literally like a couple weeks ago, because we both have only had this game for like just about 2 weeks.
Yeah. It's like just under 2 weeks we have it.
Yeah. But I remember like 3-4 weeks ago, watching videos of people like Shroud or Crashed or Lupo, Tim, like playing Tarkov on like YouTube or on Twitch, and me being like, because like with games like that where it's like they're constantly coming out, like games that are in alpha or early access or beta, whatever it is, I normally, especially now after being burned in the past, I'll watch a bunch of videos of it and like I'll really do some research on the game first before I give that, you know, go that initial leap of getting into the game, especially if it's because like it was about like what, 30 or 40 bucks, was it?
It's 40 US. It's 40 US, so it's like 60 Canadian. Yeah.
So it's like technically it's cheaper than a full priced game here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still, you know, it's
like in that middle ground, right? Because like you have like the more indie, you know, early access games that are usually around like 20 to 30 bucks. And then you have the AAA, you know, big releases that are $70 to $80 here, depending on which game it is. Usually $80 now. I feel like I haven't seen a $70 game in a while. It's mostly always $80.
Same. I almost never see a 71.
Yeah. So like, yeah, this game kind of operates in like the middle of that. And actually, I don't know, what's their plan for like when they fully release, like when it's out of beta and it's an actual game that exists, like is the price going to go up to a full like fully priced game, or is it just going to stay that price the whole time? I don't know what the fuck they're doing with that.
That's a great question. I'm honestly not sure.
Yeah, in my opinion, they should keep it the way it is once they full release.
Yeah.
Because as much as I love this game and I've gotten tons of entertainment out of it already in under 2 weeks I've been playing it, I just don't think there's enough there in terms of like there's enough there in terms of time played, but in terms of content, like variety of content, I don't think there's enough there to warrant, a fully priced AAA game.
Yeah, well, like especially because like it's, like they still have the time between, when it first came into open beta for you to pre-order up until now. But it's like they do, up until that point, they do have other stuff that they do want to add to the game that would turn it into a game that I feel would warrant a possible $80 price tag. I don't see them going to that point because of, just like where they stand within the, video game landscape. But like, I know that they have like a story mode, an open world without time limit, mode where all the maps are together, an arena mode. So it's like they have stuff that they can add in that would definitely make it a full AAA type, full priced game. But I also don't see them doing that at all.
Yeah. They've also been like, I mean, I know it is still in beta, so they still have all the time in the world to do this stuff. But from everything I've heard from Battlestate Games, they are very anti-microtransaction. Because the beauty of this game is that there's no microtransactions at all. It's so nice to see, especially for a multiplayer game like this. Like you never see that these days. And this game has nothing like that. Like absolutely nothing. There are special editions you can pay extra for, but that's like, I don't count those as microtransactions. That's just
it's not in game.
No, and it's so if I feel like if they're to keep that model and they don't want to go the microtransaction route, they'll probably up the price of it to be a fully priced game by the time it comes out. And I mean, I just really hope that they're able to keep this momentum up until release.
Me too.
Because man, this game hit a fucking meteoric rise pretty much out of nowhere.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's actually crazy to me because I've known about this game for a long time.
Same.
Like, I watched Shroud stream this game like a year ago, 2 years ago. Like, maybe not 2 years ago, but like a long time ago, he was streaming this game. And like, he was talking about how much he likes it. But just out of nowhere, it's just like, I don't know if it was like a patch that came out that was like really big or something, but just like, boom, it's the biggest game on Twitch. Out of like, just bang, right there.
From what I heard is that it seems that it was a patch. I can actually pull it up here real quick. It was the 0.12, which is the most recent big patch. That was the one that kind of spiked it out of nowhere because I'm sorry about that. I don't want to watch a video about it. Patch 0.12. I'll pull up the info on it, but I believe from what I heard is that it was just like it added a shit ton of stuff that people have been wanting for a while. A lot of like bug fixes and stuff like that. So it just like all those players who really wanted to see it succeed from a while ago, basically came back to the game. And then because they came back to the game, more positive voice went out about the game. And because that was all out, all the streamers that used to play it also came back. And, Shroud's like one of the biggest streamers, biggest streamers. So him just coming back to play the game and him saying on multiple occasions being like, this game, it's not perfect, but it's so much fun. Like, it is a blast to play.
Yeah, I'll fully admit, because like, I've been a fan of Shroud for a long time. Like when he was on like my favorite Counter-Strike team for years, he was on my favorite Counter-Strike team. Before I grew up and realized that team was garbage and started liking better teams. So I've been a fan of Shroud for like 5 years now. I've loved Shroud. And then when he left Counter-Strike to start streaming, I kept watching his streams a little bit, and then like I'll just watch some of his stream highlights on YouTube. And I heard him talk about Tarkov like a month and a half ago or something, where he was talking about how, like, I think it was like when he was playing Call of Duty, and he was like, yeah, I don't play this game because I want to. Like, when I play this game, all I want to play is Tarkov. Like, he doesn't want to play anything else. Like, he only plays the other games because he gets sponsored to play them. Mm-hmm. And Tarkov is the only game he thinks about playing. And one of the reasons why his move to Mixer was such a big deal was now he doesn't have to do any of those sponsored streams ever again. He just has to play the games he wants to now.
Dude,
and all he wants to play is
Tarkov so fucking much lately. It's insane.
Crazy. Dude, when I watch his stream, motherfucker's got like hundreds of millions of dollars, or not dollars, rubles in his fucking stash. And he just doesn't give a fuck. It's crazy. Tarkov has like consumed me, because I have a very addictive personality. You know this from knowing me for a very long time. When I get into something, I like fucking dive deep into something, right? It's all I do.
You go full ham.
Yeah. Tarkov is like that 10 times stronger. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, it's literally the only thing that I want to do with my free time. Right, because obviously, like, I'm a newly engaged person, so I got to spend time with my fiance and all that stuff. I'm not saying I don't want to do any of that stuff, but like anytime I have a moment where it's like I'm going to go play video games, all I want to play is Tarkov. It's all I want to play, and not even just play it. All I want to do is research about it, like watch YouTube content, watch streaming content. Just everything is Tarkov. Literally, I'll tell you this: when I'm at work, sometimes, if it's a slower day, what I'll do is I'll just keep one of my headphones in, right? And I'll just have a headphone in, and I'll have just just nebulous content on in my ear all day, like a podcast or something.
Yeah.
But what I did this whole week was I had different content creators like Tarkov beginners guides just on constantly for hours in my ear, just listening to them talk about like little tips and like what to do here, and like if this happens you gotta do this, and like here's how you do that. All I've been listening to, and like I can't get enough of it. Like, yeah, I can't remember the last time a thing grabbed me like this game has.
It
was probably my fiance, honestly.
I totally get it though. I'm kind of the same. Definitely not as like bad as you, but like I'm watching Tarkov videos like constantly. I'm whenever I have the ability to play it, I'm playing it, and it's something that I'm like constantly thinking about, like nonstop. Like I'm always thinking about, thinking about Tarkov, reading the subreddit. I'm on the subreddit constantly, and so. Okay, finally, in our Tarkov episode, a half an hour into recording this episode, let's give a quick rundown of what the fuck Escape from Tarkov is.
All right. So, Escape from Tarkov is, despite what some of its more hardcore fans want you to believe, it's essentially an evolution of what a battle royale would be. It's not a strict battle royale like a Fortnite or Apex Legends. It's more of like a milsim raid based, like super hardcore type of like get in, get your loot, get the fuck out type of deal. Very realistic. Like I said, like definitely like milsim, which stands for military simulator, in case people don't know that. Kind of like Arma or like Operation Flashpoint, games like that, Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Sorry, I was just writing down a note. Yeah, and then it's, like in the game there's different maps, and you go into those maps. You're basically kind of like where the battle royale aspect of the game comes in. You're randomly spawned in on a part on the map, and it's your job to find your extraction point and get out. That's basic, and then the rest of it is basically where the military sim survival aspect of the game comes in. You can buy maps, but no one ever really does that because, from what I've heard, the maps aren't great. So you basically have to learn the map yourself because there's no map displayed on your screen.
Yeah, there's no like mini map or anything like that. Like you
So,
have to learn it yourself. You have to study it and
which
learn
is
the
an
ins and outs
aspect
of
of
it.
its own, which is like a really difficult part of it, just by itself. And
like
you basically
I have
loot.
like probably dozens and dozens and dozens of hours in this game already, and I'm just like getting to that point where I'm familiar enough with one of the maps to where I don't need to pull up the map on my second monitor anymore.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
I'm right there. I still probably should, but I feel like I'm confident enough that I don't have to.
I still need, like, I'm getting super confident with one map. I think it's the same one that we're talking about, which is one of the map's customs. It's the one map that I feel the most confident in. I do still keep it up on my second monitor because,
Oh yeah, so do I.
like, I'll know where I am, but I haven't memorized in relation to where I am where the extraction points are. That's where I haven't fully clicked in my head yet. Like, if I'm at, scav checkpoint, I won't know in relation where, like, smuggler's boat is, or the dorms extraction. Like, I won't have that relation in my head. But then the second I pull up my map and I look and I'm like, okay, I'm here, I'm there, okay, that makes sense, and then I'll finally go, and then I'll go there. Also, just remembering where certain loot will be, that's also something that I don't remember.
Yeah, that's something that I'm like the last thing I'm really trying to nail down on customs is like where are all the best places to loot, where are all the scav, like where are you more likely to run into like a bunch of scavs, things like that. Which I guess we should also probably explain the scav system. The scav system is like there are AI opponents on the map as well called scavs, but there are also things known as player scavs, where when you're queuing up for the game, you can choose to either go into a raid as your PMC, which is your main character, which is your loot and all the stuff that you've acquired, or you can go in as a scav where you have a randomized loadout, which is usually crap, and you spawn in a very random part of the map, because the scav spawns are different than the PMC spawns. So you'll spawn in a fairly random part of the map at a random time during the raid too. It's not at the beginning of the raid. It's at a random time in the raid when the scav's supposed to spawn. And basically, same deal. You just got to try and loot as much as you can and get out. But so yeah, like trying to learn where all the scavs are, and like, especially like the hardest thing for me has been learning how to differentiate between a scav and a player. Like, even just like I can normally get like between a scav and a PMC now, but also trying to differentiate what a scav and what a scav player is, that's still beyond me. I still don't know how to fucking do that properly. I still have so many times where like I'm like aiming at a guy's fucking head, and I'm like super stressed out. I'm like, is he gonna shoot me? Like, am I gonna shoot him? Like, what the fuck? What do I do? What do I do?
Yeah,
wait, who fires first?
For the scavs, I can only tell if they're a NPC or like a computer scav or a player scav if it's super obvious. Like there's some times where it's just like how the scav is moving and like looking around. I'm like, that's a computer, because that is not someone with a keyboard and mouse. That is
there are things you can see, but like if one's just like standing still,
it's like
I'm just
literally impossible.
Yeah,
or if they wait, or if they lean back and forth.
Yeah,
then you're like, that's a player.
I haven't ever seen a NPC scav lean before. Although they do loot sometimes.
They do.
I've seen them loot. They don't take anything, but they open stuff.
I've killed a scav that was mid looting.
Nice. You ratted a scav.
I ratted a scav.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like it's a fucking really good game because it's super addicting. I think like probably like the part of me the part that I like the most is the hoarder aspect of it.
Oh yeah, that's 100% like, to me, like that's what the game is. The game is acquiring as much shit as you can and trying to be as rich as possible, and like that's all I really care. Like I because it's a game where I'm, you know, like, not to sound cocky, I am fairly above average at most first person shooters I play, right? Like, you know, like I've just always been, I've always been good at FPSs, right? Like the whole time you've known me, I've always been pretty good. This game I suck dick at, though. I'm terrible at this game, right? Like like shooting people, I suck. I'm terrible. I always die. But the looting and the hoarding aspect, and like getting out with like a broken leg and like limping to the extract, but you got a fucking hard drive in your back, or a fucking graphics card in your backpack, and it's worth $30,000, so you got to get it, you know, like that. To me, like that's the exciting part of the game. That's why I like to keep coming back, because like the shooting mechanics, they're fine, they're like just passable, sort of FPS normal stuff. Some of the more realistic simulator parts of it do kind of annoy me, but that just adds to the tension of it, right? So
yeah, not to sound cocky at all, but I've never really been good at first person shooters.
You were, I remember back in Black Ops 2, you weren't too bad.
I wasn't
you weren't too bad on Black Ops 2 on the Xbox.
But
no, you weren't great.
Dude, Escape from Tarkov, give me a fucking SKS, dude. Come with me if you want to live. That's basically my motto. I don't know what happened with me. The second I fucking get into Escape from Tarkov, I'm like, ooh, building full of 6 people. Bobby, wait outside. Like there was this one time, telling the story for the listeners. Because you were there. There was one time where Bobby and I were on a map, because of course every map has a day and night cycle. And it was really, really late, and it was super dark. And I'm assuming that maybe I just have a setting within my monitor for brightness maybe turned up, or maybe the brightness in my game is a little higher than yours. Whatever it was, it's just your game was a lot darker than mine is.
Mm-hmm. I actually know exactly what that is. It's because...
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's... my monitor is an HDR monitor, so black is very black on my monitor.
Oh,
so
that makes
when
sense.
It's nighttime on Tarkov, like I know Tarkov's not an HDR game, but just because of the panel quality of my monitor, it makes dark things really dark. So that fucks me on this game. Like, I know that there are settings I can do. Like I definitely just need to go in my settings and tweak it a little bit. Mm-hmm. But yeah, when it's dark, I can't see shit.
That makes sense.
I pretty much have a black screen.
So he can't see anything, and we're passing like I think like a corner store or something like that.
It was gas station.
It was gas station, and we start hearing gunfire and Russian in our ear because it's a scav, and we're PMCs at the time. So one of the differences when you're playing as a PMC or a scav, so when you're playing as your normal character, scavs will always try to attack you, because your main character is basically at war with the scavs. But if you're playing as the scav, they'll only attack you if you attack the scavs first. Other than that, they'll leave you alone, and they'll sometimes go into battle with you. So we're in as our main character, so they're shooting at us right away. Bobby can't see dick. He can't see anything. So, but I can see stuff, and I have my rifle, which is like a pretty reliable gun. So I was like, all right, Terminator glasses on, and then I go in and I wipe the entire floor with those couple scavs that were in there. And like it was quick too. Like it was just like pop 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 pop, and they were dead. And I was like, all right, Bobby, you can come in now.
I was I was in a bush the whole time.
You were in a bush.
I was in a bush, and I walk out of the bush. I'm like, Is it safe to come out?
And that's happened a couple times too, where it's just like I remember, I remember one where it was you were inside of a building and we could both hear people outside the building, and there was like multiple exits, and I just like walk out one exit and I'm like, I'm walking out the side, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna stay in the building. I'm like, okay. And then all you hear from your aspect is pop 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 pop, and then I run and I'm like, okay, we're good. And then you walk outside and there's like 3 fully kitted scabs just dead on the floor. Other FPSs though, dude, leave me outside.
Man, yeah, it's weird. It's weird playing like because with this year's Call of Duty, I got back into the series. I was actually playing Modern Warfare, like, so I was pretty into it. I was playing it a lot, even though I fucking hate it. It's terrible. I was playing it a bunch, and man, when me and you would play that game, you are just...
I'm fucking like, god awful at that game. Oh
yeah,
my god.
It's always the best, like when we play like Search and Destroy or something, and I spectate you and I'm just like watching you. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Like, I don't know what you're doing right now.
Yeah, that's why I play it so little now. Like I play that game so little.
I'm kind of fully off of Modern Warfare at this point.
Yeah, like I've even been like guessing. I've been thinking of like possibly uninstalling it and then just fully ridding myself of Blizzard. Just fully stepping away from it.
The Chinese spyware off your computer.
The Chinese spyware. But yeah, dude. Ow, fuck. I think I just cut myself.
Nice.
But yeah, dude. Fucking Tarkov's baller ass, dude.
It really is. Good. It really is. I'm in this weird state right now where like I've lost a lot of my guns. I had a pretty bad streak of dying super early. So I lost a lot of my guns, but I'm still in like that fairly comfortable range of money. I'm at about I fluctuate from like 1.2 to 1.6 million rubles, and I'll go down a little bit, then I'll have a couple good raids, and I'll go back up. But I'm in like this super shitty spot now, where like going above 1 million. Now I don't ever want to go below 1 million. So like, I feel like I am poor, even though I have over 1 million rubles. I refuse to spend to the point where I'd be under. So like, I've gone like super budget builds for my last couple of raids, just because it's like, like I don't want to have to dip into the below 1 million mark, because I felt like once I passed 1 million, that was like such a threshold of like, that's my first 1 million done. I have 1 million rubles. I'm good. So I don't ever want to go below that. I'm so afraid to be below 1 million now.
And it like, dude, I haven't even hit 1 million yet. I also had a long string of really, really bad raids, to the point where I was below 100K in rubles, and it was horrible. I hated it. But that was also right around the time that like the switch kind of clicked for me for Tarkov, and that's when I started, like there was one night where I think I did 5 or 6 raids and I only died in one of them. So
that's the best. Like to me, that's when the game is like at its peak, is when you have like multiple successful raids in a row. You feel so good, like you're on top of the world, nothing can bring you down, like it's a good feeling.
Yeah, exactly. So it was just like it, and like now that like I'm still not at 1 million rubles at this point, but I'm starting to kind of get stuff back. But it's definitely one of those kind of games where you take like 5 steps forward, but then it makes you take like 2 steps back once that's done. So it's like you get a scav run done where you come through and you get a bunch of shit, and you sell a bunch of shit on the marketplace. You sell a bunch of the vendors, and you go into another raid as your PMC. You get a bunch of shit that comes back, and then you're like, you know what? I'm not even going to do another scav run. I'm going to do another PMC, but I'm going to deck my shit out. And then you die in 30 seconds.
Dude, I always feel like I genuinely do worse with better gear than I do with crap gear. Like if I go in with like, you know, even if I do like a PMC run, but I have like just like an AK and like some shit body armor and like no helmet, like I feel like I do better than when like we just did the last one we did before we started recording this podcast. I brought my most expensive gun. I've had this gun for 7 days now. I've never used it because I'm terrified of it. I got it from this guy I looted, and it's this fully decked out M4, like fully decked out. It's got every fucking bell and whistle you want an M4 to have, right? It's got good ammo. It's got a bunch of ammo too. It's got like 4 fucking mags. It's got a silencer. It's got a sick barrel. It's got fucking really nice foregrip, so the recoil is super manageable. It's a really good gun. We finally decide, all right, I'm going to use it. We go into customs because that's our most, you know, familiar map. We know that map. You know, we can extract that map. It's whatever. We've done that map 100 times. I get one shot by a sniper and die. Like, great. I didn't even have a chance to fight. Yeah.
That was rough too. But upside though, because you insure. So for people who haven't played yet, you can insure your items before you go into the raid, which basically what that means. So like when you go in as your character, your main character with your own loot, if you go into there and you don't insure anything and you die, you have lost everything that you brought, that you had, unless you had anything in a little gamma container that you have, that you can always bring stuff back in that even if you die.
Yeah, but it's super small. It's a super small container. It can only fit a couple of items.
And some items aren't even compatible to put it in there. But if you are going in as your main character and you insure items, and if you die in that raid and no one loots your body and takes that stuff, you will get it back. It takes a while. About 22 to 24 hours real time.
I've seen some of them, it's like 24 to 36 hours.
Yeah, so it's like sometimes it's like even longer. Now, Bobby, what he did is he insured that gun, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, so he insured that gun, and we were talking, and he said, if you can, loot that gun and put it in a random room, because we were in a building. So I loot the gun, I take it into a random room, I climb under a desk, I drop it under the desk, I leave the room, I close the door, and I left. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, hopefully I get that thing back, because I'll be so pissed. That thing's worth like 400,000 fucking rubles.
Also, forgot to tell you when we started talking again, I actually made it out of that raid alive.
Oh, nice. That's good shit.
I also got 4 PMC kills that raid.
Nice.
I cleared the entire downstairs.
Damn.
Dude, I fucking went off once, because like I had a shotgun in my second gun slot, so I threw that to the ground. I picked up your rifle. I went into the next room. I dropped your rifle. I thought for a second, I was like, I could probably use this rifle against these guys, but I don't want to run the risk of them taking it. Fuck it. I throw it on the ground. I go over to my shotgun. You
should have done the General Sam thing where you're like, yeah, I totally hit it. But then you actually just keep it.
So I pick up the shotgun. I look at it. And by the way, it's a shotgun that I need for one of my tasks. So I look at the shotgun and I'm like, all right. And I just pump it. And then I walk downstairs and I just start blasting people in the face.
See, I feel like the part of Tarkov where like I do the best is when I'm in that mode of like, all right, nothing else matters right now. I'm just gonna try and get out, and like I kind of stopped caring about making a whole lot of sound and like, oh, I don't want to fight these guys because what if they kill? Once I stopped giving a fuck and being afraid, you know, I do good. I kill people. You know, I can like run around super fast, get to the extract and stuff like that. But like when you're in that, like that middle part of a raid where like, you know, there's someone in like the building right next to you, and like, you know, you're scared shitless because you don't want to die, because you don't want to lose all your stuff. So you're kind of playing a little passively. Like that's when I get fucked, right? And I think what it is that makes me so bad at Tarkov. I was thinking about this the other day, because I was playing a solo raid, and I had a pretty decked out MPX that I didn't want to lose, right? And there was a moment where I was in a room, and in like a couple rooms beside me, I knew that there was 2 PMCs, right? But I knew they weren't looking, like they were looking out the window, because this was in dorms on customs.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that they're fighting with someone in the other dorm. So I know they're not paying attention. So I easily can go in and just spray them both down, because I have an MPX, fully automatic submachine gun. I spray them both down super easily, loot all their shit. Instead, because I'm a little pussy bitch, I'm so scared, I stay in my room and I just stay in there, and I don't go and fight them, right? But then the person in the other dorm sees me through the window and starts shooting at me. So now the people in my dorm know that I'm in there. So they come to my fucking room and they fucking open my door and they kill me. The sound of them opening that door behind me, literally, like, I almost shit my pants. It was so scary. And that's when it clicked in my head. This is a fucking horror game.
Dude, it totally is. It's a horror game.
This game is a horror game. It is terrifying.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes me so terrible at it, is that, because like we've explained on other podcasts, I'm a little bitch. I don't do well with horror games. I get super scared very easily with horror games, right? In a normal first-person shooter, like Call of Duty, I never get fucking scared of Call of Duty. I never get scared playing Apex Legends, right? I never get, like, I don't ever get those feelings when I play those games. So I just fucking I click on some dude's head. It's no big deal, right? It's whatever. Fucking this game, though, I'm shitting my panties, bro. Like, it's rough. It's rough out here.
See,
that's why I think I suck at this game.
And I think that's why we work as such a good duo in that game. Because, like, we have a pretty good success rate when we're working together.
Yeah, we're not terrible. We're pretty good.
And I think that's probably why, is that, sorry, when it comes to the heat of the moment, we have everything we need. We need to get to the extraction point. I'm useless. I'm absolutely useless. That's where I fail most of the time in my solo raids. But that's where you come in and you're like, okay, we're here, we need to go here. I just follow you. I'm like, I'm just gonna listen to him.
Yeah, map navigation, I'm fucking baller ass at that shit. I know exactly where to go, what routes to take, how to avoid people. Like, I know, because I'm a fucking Jamie, I'm a full-on rat, all right? I know all the sneaky hidey holes to go through, all right?
9 times out of 10, when you click into that role, between then and the extraction point, if we die, 9 times out of 10, it's because I did something stupid. Like that one time we were doing a scav run and we were in the woods and I turned around and I saw a scav. They didn't shoot. I forgot we were scavs and I blasted them in the face and then they killed me. And then they killed you. That was my fault. So, but then the second we're in a moment where it's like we're in gas station, there's the front door, there's the 2 side doors, and there's people behind us, and we can hear that they're there. You're going to sit in the fucking storage room for 8,000 years and die of starvation. But then that's when I come in, and I'm like, oh, I only have a PM handgun, literally the worst. That's 8 rounds. I could probably kill him in 4. and it's like, that's where I can help. But and we just need to tag in and out whenever it's needed. Map navigation, dude, that, like, you are always, out of the 2 of us, you are the first one without fail to figure out where we are.
Even on maps, the crazy thing is, even on maps I don't know. I don't even understand how I do that.
Yeah, I remember, like, our 2nd or 3rd run on Woods. You're like, this is where we are. We were in there for like a minute.
2 seconds after we spawned, I was like, oh yeah, we're right here, and we need to go here.
And I remember you being like, we're here. And I'm like, where? And you tell me, and then I squinted my eyes, and I moved my face closer to my second monitor, and would go back and forth from looking at my second monitor to my main one, being like, and then I was like, where? But then I just trusted you. I was like, all right, I guess he knows what he's talking about.
I do. It's all up here, Jamie. 3,000 IQ.
3,000 IQ. Hey, dude.
Hell yeah, brother.
Remember those handgun runs? Those handgun
Yeah.
runs, they work.
That's straight 3,000 IQ, brother, man, dude.
3,000 brother, man. They work, man. They totally work. I'm really excited to see what this game has for the future and like what they do.
100%. I feel like we're about to hit a pretty big dry spell for content because, like they said, they're not doing a wipe until the new map comes out, which is the biggest map they've put out. It's going to be called Streets of Tarkov.
I'm so stoked.
And they estimate about 5 months from now is when that map's going to come out.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's going to be some content coming, like a new gun or something.
Yeah.
Like something's going to come out. And they are, constantly trying to fix stuff and improve on some things. They actually just put a fix out the other day that's going to help with stopping the bots from stealing everything on the market, which is great because that's always a pain in the ass.
It's a pain in the ass when you need to buy something, but it's fucking great when you need to sell something.
Yeah. So yeah, but I feel like we're gonna hit a dry spell with content. But that being said, I mean that 5 months of work they're gonna put in this map, I can't wait to see what it's like. And I have very high hopes for this game.
Oh,
because
totally.
even with what it's got right now, it's fantastic, and I could 100% see myself playing this for a while. Like,
me too.
When I got the news that Cyberpunk was delayed, in my head I'm like, like what the fuck am I gonna play? Like, I know Doom Eternal comes out, and that's gonna be good. I'm gonna play that, but like between now and then, like that's really the only game that's coming out that I really care about. I know there's a lot of games coming out, but none of them appeal to me really. Then I started playing Tarkov, and I went, "Oh right, it's gonna be this. It's just gonna be Tarkov until Cyberpunk comes out."
Dude, I remember too, because like I got and started playing Tarkov about like a day or two before you did, and I remember before I got it, I was like, "Yeah, I'm looking into getting Tarkov," and I asked you if you had gotten it, and you're like, "No," and I was like, "Oh, okay," and then I got it, and I played it for like a day, and I was like, "You should totally get it." I'm like, "You'd fucking love it." And you're like, like I've been thinking about it, and I was like, you should totally do it. And then the next, like that day or the next day, you're like, you like told me that you got Tarkov, and I was like, all right, let me know what you think. And you're like, it's pretty good. And then like 4 days later, you're like, it's literally all I've been doing in my free time. And I was like, I fucking knew it. I knew
It's a really weird thing though, because like I had heard of Tarkov, obviously, watching Shroud play it like years ago and stuff. It never looked appealing to me because I don't like military simulator games
me
at
neither.
all. I do not like Arma. I do not like any games like that. Right? I have avoided them like the plague ever since I played Operational Flashpoint on the Xbox. It's just terrible. I don't like those games. And I don't like. I do kind of like battle royale games, but they are getting a bit stale. So like I always had this idea in my head that Tarkov was more of a traditional battle royale. So like to me, I was never gonna try this game, right? And like even though Shroud was talking about how great it was and how it's the only game he wants to play, like even then I wasn't like, oh, I need to rush out and get this game, blah blah blah. It really wasn't until I saw, just because I had watched a couple Shroud stream highlights, another video got put in my recommendations, and it was by this YouTuber who's now probably become my favorite YouTuber of all time. Not really, I'm being hyperbolic, but I really like his content, and I know you've seen his videos too. It's like General Sam. Like to me, his video is what like literally cemented. I gotta get this game.
Dude, General Sam,
because his content is great. General Sam is the reason that Tarkov is in my life. So I'll never be able to repay that, General Sam.
Dude, him just uncomfortably shouting into his wireless microphone in front of a green screen that's playing Tarkov nonsense in the background will forever fucking just make me start laughing.
Dude, he's great. He's fantastic content creator.
So fucking good. Have you seen his real quick question about General Sam, and then we'll get back to Tarkov. Have you seen his video where he drinks just the insides of 1,200 fruit gushers?
I have not.
It's his most viewed video. You should watch it. It's fucking horrible. Right. But he calls it fruit gushers coom. But yeah, dude, like it was funny it was funny too because I was like, when I was playing this game, I was like, if I can just get this game in Bobby's hands, I know he'll love it, and I know he'll get obsessed. Like, this is the picture perfect type of game for Bobby. It's just like, it's really, really fun. It's got a lot of stuff. There's, even though it's kind of a streamlined game, like if you had a list of how many different things that you can do in the game, the list wouldn't be super long, but it's just the things on the list are a lot of fun. And I was like, if I can just get this game in Bobby's hands, I'm like, I know he'll get obsessed with it, and then I'll have someone to play this game with. That's all I wanted. I just wanted someone to play the game with. And you just, like, of your own volition, just bought it and started playing it, and I was like, perfect. So when you loved it, I was like, I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it.
I think definitely what we need is we need another person.
Oh yeah,
because there are definitely times where it's the two of us and we'll run into 3 or 4 people, and that's always just frustrating because, like, I mean, obviously you can win those fights if you're smart enough, but you know, it is very hard to win a fight against, you know, 3 PMCs coming at you when there's only 2 of you. So I think having a third guy, or like 3 or 4, would be nice.
I did hear the common squad is 3 from what I've heard.
Yeah. Also, I gotta say this one thing. I gotta get off my chest, okay? I know I got this off my chest to you earlier, but I want to broadcast this to the whole internet, right? If you're running a 5-man squad on interchange with full fucking kitted, like fully kitted out, you got everything you need. You got level fucking class 5 armor, class 5 helmets, fucking kitted out M4s and shit. You got everything you fucking need, and you see a fucking hatchling that's just trying to get some goddamn crumbs off the floor because he's a dirty rat, and he just wants a little bit of loot. That's all he wants. He's just gonna get the loot and leave. He's not gonna try and kill you or anything. He just wants to get the loot and back the fuck out. Leave him alone. Don't waste your bullets on him, okay? Just let him be. He's not bothering you. God damn, it triggers me so much. Literally had a firing squad of 5 people laying into me full auto with M4s. I have nothing. There's nothing for you to loot off of me.
You know what
You're
that
just
is?
wasting your money.
You know what that is?
What's that?
That's a bunch of Chads ganging up on a rat. That's what that is.
I got a gang. Don't see. Here's the thing about look.
Don't you dare bukkake bullet my friend.
Listen, when you watch gangbang porn, right? It's
when you
don't like the
Black
ones.
Raw.
When you don't like the ones where the girl feels abused. You like the ones where she's kind of like. I mean, I don't know if you do, but I like the ones where it's kind of like the girl's the center stage. You know, she's like the main dish. Right? It's not like, you know, a bunch of dudes just beating on her, right? But when you're 5 Chads and you just go at a rat for no reason, you're just that's not a gangbang, that's just a gang rape, and that's not cool, all right? That's not cool. Let's all have a gang bang, all right, where we all enjoy ourselves.
That's like I
don't know what the fuck I'm talking about anymore.
I saw a video kind of like that on the Tarkov subreddit, where it was someone on Factory, and they were going to like the main exit where it's got like the 2 doors you have to go.
The exit campers on Factory are dog shit.
And well, it gets worse. So he goes through the first door, nobody in there. He goes up to the second door, it's closed, but he can see a dead body's foot clipping through the door. So he knows that there's campers there. So he opens the door and he fucking chucks a grenade. And it bounces off the, like, he stands to the side of the door and he chucks a grenade so it bounces off the wall and in, and then he sees dead ass 3 fully fucking kitted out guys run through the door, and he mows them all fucking down. He just destroys all of them, takes all of their shit, and then leaves.
That is man.
I was like, eat shit, Chads.
Killing a Chad is the greatest feeling of all time. There's
good.
no better feeling than killing a Chad and just getting your fingers into his pockets and just taking everything that fucking guy's worked hard for It's the best feeling of all time.
For people listening who have no fucking idea what we're talking about, in the game of Escape from Tarkov, there are two different types of players. There are Chads, and then there are Rats. Chads are basically...
And there are varying degrees of each. You know, like it's not like a defined role. It's like, you know, like I would consider myself a super rat. I never want to fight. You know, some rats, they do want to fight sometimes. I'm a super mega rat. Never want to fight.
I feel like I'm Dr. Rat and Mr. Chad. I'm mostly a rat, but if you anger me, then I transform into a Chad for about 30 seconds. And then I'm back to a rat. And basically the difference of a Chad and a rat for the listeners at home, basically what it is that a Chad are people who they basically play the game where they're basically people who come in for the first person shooter aspect of the game, and exclusively that. They fully kit themselves out every single raid. They go in and all they do is they look for PMC and scavs, and they just mow them down as quick as possible.
Yeah, they just want as many kills in the match as they can get.
Take just what's necessary and then leave. A rat, or what I like to call the better people, are people like Bobby and gamers. I who sneak. We loot a lot. There's a lot of dead body looting. There's a lot of grave digging in being a
You're
rat.
like a vulture. You come after the battle's done.
Yeah.
And you pick off the piece. Anything someone didn't want, that's mine now.
Dude,
one man's trash is a rat's treasure.
I'm a trash man. There's so many times where we've heard battle and waited like 10 minutes and then show up to the battle and just pick everyone's pockets. I have taken so many dog tags off of dead bodies from people who were killed by other players and then sold them on the market.
Man, there was one time I killed this guy and I look in his backpack and the guy's got 5 dog tags in his back, right? And I took all of them plus his. So I had 6. I looked so cool. If someone killed me and saw that I had 6, they'd be like, this guy's the biggest Chad of them all. He had 6 dog tags. Really, I just killed one guy because I shot him once with my pistol because he didn't have a helmet.
Well, you have no idea. That guy could have only killed one dude, but stole that dude's 4 dog tags, and that guy only could have had one. But he, it's just the domino effect. It's just a bunch of rats.
Yeah, it's just
could be just a bunch of
all
rats.
the rats eating the crumbs.
But yeah,
I will say one of my favorite things with the dog tags is how, depending on the level of the person that the dog tag is, it's worth more.
I feel bad for anybody who takes my dog tag.
Yeah, you ain't getting shit for my dog tag, bro. I'm only level 7.
Yeah, I think I'm only level 7 too. And it's just like,
because I mostly do scav raids because the key of the rat is the scav raid because there's nothing on the line. Dude, for a scav raid.
There's so many scav raids that I do where I get the run through label because I just like spawn in and I check my stuff and I like check what I already have as like the preset loadout. I'm like, that's enough, and then I just run to my extraction point. I run to Smuggler's Boat.
Dude, that's easy money. That's easy money every time. What do you need?
Dude, GG easy. I sell the sawed-off shotgun because I'm not gonna need it.
Yeah, that's 10K right there. Boom.
Boom.
10K you didn't have before.
But I always keep the hats and sunglasses for some reason because I'm a fucking weirdo.
You like to accessorize, you know?
Dude, those sunglasses I have, those like Ozzy Osbourne.
Baller.
Rat, dude, they get me every time. Tank helmet and those, dude, I look like a penis.
Well, if the shoe fits.
Fuck you.
All right. I feel like we're good to wrap up now.
Yeah, I think we're good to wrap up. You can subscribe to us on YouTube, on iTunes, rate and review us.
We are going to be having, I don't know how far we're going with this, but we have begun the process of doing a Tarkov video. And I don't know if that's ever going to see the light of day, but I would like it to because it's good stuff. I also have decided to start streaming again.
Yep.
So I'll be streaming Tarkov, twitch.tv/crunchybtv.
Hell yeah, brother.
That's where I find that. And I don't know if you were going to upload the Tarkov video to your YouTube channel or to the
It was going
Stop
to be
Listening Now YouTube channel.
It was going to be to the Stop Listening Now YouTube channel. Yeah.
All right. So the link for that will be in the info, the podcast.
It'll also be tweeted out when
to the links. Yeah. And the links to podcast Twitter page and both of our personal Twitter pages will also be in the description. So feel free to follow us there. And yeah, anything else to say?
No.
All right. Well, I guess you can stop.
Wow.